heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. The live seems to be upcoming, so I will assume that it will actually get started, at least soon. So today we are going to play Legends PvP. Assuming we have enough people that show up today. I understand that some people might still be farming for the new event. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Let's try to find ourselves a nice thumbnail. Oh, evil menu. I should probably make some new ones. Maybe next time. So just give me a minute or two to finish my setup over here, and then we'll try to get started. Sadly, sometimes YouTube's takes a few minutes before it actually gets started, or you can save the settings. Almost there. So you guys may have seen also, so Tuesday we will get the Halloween seasonal. So if there was any doubt, there's no more doubts. We know that the Halloween seasonal will be coming up Tuesday. And just on the safe side, if you can hear me, say yes. So we have Ashner says first. The scroll says, hi guys. Scroll says, I'm Batman looks cool. And that's where we're at. So let us start. Very often people will ask, Multiverse, how can we join? Simple enough. Go to On Duty. Go to Custom Play. Go to Legends. Select the legend character you want. Let us start with the classic Batman. And we will start with Ace Chemicals 4 versus 4. So let us start the queue. And we'll let the matchmaking actually do the matchmaking. So the teams will be decided by the matchmaking. Yes, sometimes the matchmaking, not the best, but now what can you do? So Squall says yes, so that's good. Junior says good evening. So I guess we'll chat a bit before we get started. So on this Tuesday, we will get the Halloween seasonal. I haven't seen a lot in terms of styles. Basically, we're getting a new scarecrow hat, a new scarecrow mask, and a new material. The real highlight we're getting seems to be a Etrigan character that we can have in our lair, and also there's going to be a Phantom Stranger that we can also get in our lair. So these are the two highlights in my book. Being able to get 2 more NPCs in our lair. Yes, if you don't have like a magic type character, you may not care about those characters, but you should see that as a baby steps towards more. Who knows? Maybe at some point they will give us an Alfred NPC for our lair. Maybe they'll give us a Robin NPC for our lair, a Batman NPC for our lair. The sky's the limit. So hopefully this is only the first step for them giving us more and more NPCs for our lairs. I'm not sure why our friend Lord is getting all excited all of a sudden. If there's a reason, I couldn't begin to tell you. Ryushu has a pretty cool Batman look. And he's using the Red Nightmare Chroma material. Which, spoiler alert, the Imp Mart will be back also on Tuesday. And you will be able to buy a whole bunch of stuff like the Cosmic Material, the Nightmare Material, or the Red Nightmare Material, I should say. But also they will be selling the punk rocker jacket style. I have to warn you right now: do not purchase the punk rocker jacket style. You can purchase the jacket from the Birds of Prey vendor for 100 source marks. Even the Red Nightmare Chrome material, you can purchase it from Lobo in Washington D.C. in one of the Washington D.C. map, the Middle Washington D.C. I think. You can purchase it from Lobo for 400 source marks. Now, yes, if you have like I don't know 30 some characters like some crazy people do, if you do purchase the material from the marketplace, you will be able to redeem it for every single characters in your account. So you may decide to do that instead of spending 400 source marks for each character. Although, how many characters will you? Let's assume you have 30 characters. Are you really going to use the material with your 30 characters? Like I have the material and I use it on one character sometimes. So for the cosmic material, I can understand. It's a material that sadly is not easily available, so I could see people buying it so that they can have it forever. But for the red nightmare material, you can buy it from one of the vendors. So I wouldn't really purchase it. It's not like it's not available anymore. So you could buy it next to tomorrow with one character, next week with another character, and you don't have to spend $50 for the material. Batman is asking, are we going to have an Orange Lantern Day? I'm sure we will for Christmas. Junior says, it's going to end up being something like Harley or Poison Ivy for base NPCs. Oh, I'm sure they'll give us Harley and Poison Ivy at some point. But seeing so far, the selection has been Starfire. The two next ones are Atrigan and Phantom Stranger. So I guess they might be starting with side characters as opposed to main characters. But we'll see. Again, I'm hoping that this is just an indication that there will be more NPCs in the future. Now, obviously, if Etrigan or Phantom Stranger doesn't fit with the style of your lair or with the theme of your character, then yeah, I could understand if you don't really want to get those characters. But again, baby steps. I'm hoping that we will get more characters later on. So if you have a Batman type character, hopefully we will have some Batman type NPCs later on. If you have the same with you have a Superman character, Wonder Woman, and more. Like Batman with the whole Batman family, there's a truckload of characters that could be used in a Batman lair. Actually, Superman, they all have families nowadays. There's Flash, who has a pretty big rosters as well. For the Green Lantern Corps, there's a truckload of lanterns they could use. So I guess we're hoping that it's only going to be a first step towards getting more NPCs in the future. I guess we're going to have to wait and see for that. And there are a lot more heroes than villains. So are they going to give us mostly hero characters and not really give us villain characters? That could be possible as well, I suppose. Although with an evil villain, what you could do is that heroes could put them in cages or something like that. Like we do have some cages in the League Hall, and we do have also some cages beside them. So I can already see some people. If we do get some evil villains as NPCs, I could see some people put those villains in cages in their League Hall. Scrolls is asking for a Necron ally. Maybe. We don't know. Oh, I think someone's going to create the Wolverine. Oh, you're so nice, Junior. Junior says hit the like button. Absolutely. You have to do everything Junior says. Batman is asking when are we getting a bonus week? Sadly nowadays the bonus weeks, we're not getting bonus weeks like we used to. The bonus weeks we're getting is things like this week the Wolfpack token is 30% off. That is a bonus week we're getting nowadays. So next week I assume that the bonus week will be either the Imp Mart or the normally for the Imp Mart the first week we have it. We should have some sort of sales that first week. I forget if it was 25% last time. So the bonus week this week will probably be whatever sales we have for the Imp Mart or whatever sale we have also for the Halloween seasonal. So sadly, these are the bonus weeks we have nowadays. We don't have we don't have bonus weeks like we used to. That seems to have been replaced by the events. Basically, every month or every month, I guess we have a new some new events. That seems to be what replaces the bonus weeks now. Now this year has pretty much been a transition from what we used to get from the old devs into what the new devs are giving us.
Get away!
Lord is using the Omega Beam for Cyclops. I guess it still kind of works, but it makes more sense for me to use Heat Vision.
Look out!
Like you call that a Heat Vision? Oh, wrong character.
Look out!
I don't have my DPS armory. I'm so sad now.
Run!
So I was going to use a Heat Vision, but I don't have it on any of those armories.
Look out!
So yeah, so for the bonus week, oh, the chat went a bit faster than I could read. When are we getting a new style for Halloween event? We're getting it this week. On Tuesday, we will get. There's a couple of. There's a scarecrow headpiece. There's a scarecrow mask. I forget what else. So this week is when we'll get some new Halloween stuff, but we're not getting that much new stuff. Sadly, from for a while now, they give us just a couple of new styles. So it could be because they're giving us just a couple of new styles for the like on the vendor, and they're giving us one or two new styles for the event itself. So all of that combined does give us a handful of styles. Junior says we need another base too. Last was the Sunstone. Yes, but sadly we Ocean was the one who was giving us new bases, new layers, new base items. And Ocean has been gone for a while. Like the Sunstone is the last layer that Ocean made. And even then, when she left, she wasn't quite finished with the layers. There's someone else who had to jump in to finish the layer for her. And we saw the result. There was quite a few issues with the layer when it was first launched. And it took them a while to be able to fix whatever issues we had with the layer. So sadly, since Ocean left, I don't think they have anyone who can actually create new layers just yet. And assuming they hired someone like yesterday, it'll probably take them a while to get caught up in how to create the layers, and obviously, it probably takes also some time to create those layers. Oh, Dark Joker says we are getting a Scarecrow Bloody. Thank you, Dark Joker. I drew a blank. I remember the styles. I couldn't remember the ability. Batman, when are we getting a Black Lantern power battery? Not anytime soon. And if you guys saw the latest blog, even the Black Lantern battery that we destroyed during the solo mission has been turned into a Gray Lantern battery by the evil Lucia. Lucia, I'm not sure how to properly pronounce it. Let's say the evil reckoning. Superman, hello Multi, hello everyone, hope all is well, everyone has fun, and leave a like. Wow, you're so nice, Superman. So for those who maybe just joined us, so basically what we're recording for right now, SD4 player, Ace Chemicals 4 versus 4. So there's no need to invite anyone, there's no need to join anything. All you have to do is that select your legend character, select the mission, and the matchmaking will do the rest. Oh, I think Cyclops just made a friend. Jean Grey is going to be jealous. Scroll says she's that powerful. Are you talking about Ocean or... Oh, Lucia. Yeah, it would seem that the gray power made her powerful enough to be able to recreate the Black Lantern into a Gray Lantern. I should probably make a video about it. But in a nutshell, it would seem that the next DLC will be Red Lantern related. From the looks of it, it would seem that, if you guys remember when we had, during the mission, the evil Atrocitus left for a bit and then came back. Well, he didn't leave for nothing. He left to be a sneaky sneaker, and basically came to realize that he was getting more powerful thanks to the Grey Lanterns. Apparently, it seems that the Grey Lanterns can boost the power of a Red Lantern, the same way that a Blue Lantern can boost the power of a Green Lantern. So when the Atrocitus saw that, I saw an opportunity, and so that is why he came back to help us. He didn't come back to help us out of the goodness of his heart. He came back to help us so that Lucia could turn the Black Lantern into a Grey Lantern. And Atrocitus, it seems, is planning to use that to become more powerful. Dark Tricker says to get the Scarecrow ability, all you have to do is complete the Halloween event.
Run! Help!
Junior says, hey, Superman. Batman says, I want the Larfleeze head style with a Santa hat. I could have sworn we had something like that. Or am I thinking of Batman style with the Santa hat? I could have sworn I saw Larfleeze with the Santa hat, but it could have been just some promo artwork. I guess we'll have to wait for the next Christmas seasonal to find out if they will give us a Larfleeze headpiece with a Christmas hat. So here we can start Front Lord making a pretty cool version of Cyclops. Yeah, it's not exactly it. The strap is not exactly how it should be.
Help! Help!
Although with the headpiece, it reminds me more of Gambit than anything else. Ghost has a pretty cool Black Lantern look here. Oh, Arthur says a greeting from Zaptivist. Also, I did not mention it this week, but basically, if you go to the marketplace, this week there's a sale for the Wolfpack token. So if somehow you need some Wolfpack token, and now would be a good time to buy some of those. There's still 1 day and 8 hours left. Obviously, in order to be able to use the Wolfpack token, you need at least one artifact that is ranked 200. So if you want to have one artifact, if you have one artifact that is ranked 200 and you want to be able to use the artifact with all your characters, now would be a good time to purchase the token. Personally, the one artifact, the first artifact I did, the Wolfpack, was the Lazarus Pit. I wouldn't say it's the best artifact in the game, but it's one of the artifacts that is good, that is very useful for every single characters in the game. So no matter what your character, no matter if you play a healer, a tank, a controller, the Wolfpack is a good thing to have. But yeah, a lot of people would use things like the Grimorium, the Quizlet is a popular choice. Right now, the Sinistro Ring seems to be a popular choice as well. The Strategist card also is a popular choice. If you play as a controller, the Bird of Precoming Device is also a popular choice. And the Amulet of Ra, also for controllers. If you're a controller, you pretty much need the Amulet of Ra. I have to admit, for the Clarion, I was quite surprised by the Clarion. It's meant to be a healer artifact, and mostly a battle healer artifact. But I couldn't help but I've been using it with a lot of characters these days, so I like it. I was really surprised. Didn't expect to like it that much. The same with the Dead King Scepter. With the new allies that we got, the Dead King Scepter shortens the cooldown of the allies. Like, it reduces the cooldown. Where is it? I could have sworn it said something about the allies, or am I? Okay, it reduces the cooldown of your combat pets, henchmen, by 10%.
Get away.
So for the henchmen, now that the henchmen have a longer cooldown, 10% is quite substantial. The solar amplifier, been using it on at least a few characters. Obviously, you need it for Superman. And there's the Eye of Gemini that is a popular choice with a lot of people. As you can see, I did not Wolfpack the Eye of Gemini, but there are some people who still find it useful. Oh, our friend Lord is now the Angel. If our friend Sinistro here had the Sinistro Chrome material, that would be even much better. And we have the Old Gods here. Pretty cool looking look. It's simple but effective. Ragnar for Life says, hi, how's it going? Oh, it's going well. Batman says we need the Steli multi. I don't think Steli can on Sundays. I think she can only come and play on Wednesdays, if I recall correctly. I think something about her work schedule changed or something like that. So sadly, we're gonna have to wait for Wednesday to get our friend the Dancer Steli. Oh, Dark Joker says the Halloween event starts on October 7th through November 3rd to finish the event. Oh, we have Azine, Ghost, and Ryushu. So Gods of Honor, Gods of Honor, Gods of Honor represent. The Gods of Honor at this point are pretty much a staple for PvP, not just arena PvP, not just Legends PvP, but also arena PvP.
Match commencing. East control node enabled.
Yeah, I'm Kryptonian. Can you tell? Score one for the good guys. Pardon my fists. It's time to hit things. This one's a job for Supergirl. It's not even fair, is it?
So obviously there are two objectives here. First, you have to kick the butt of the other team, so you'll score points that way. And if you capture the objectives like I just did here, you did score also points that way.
How'd you like this?
Oh.
Epic fail.
Also, you see defeat new villains. Defeat new villains. These are the wanted posters you can pick up in Gotham and Metropolis. And there's also for the Diamond Heist, you have to defeat 5 villains. For the Ring War, you have to defeat 5 villains.
Discharging electrical system.
So you can see the 2 sneaky sneakers coming our way.
You're going down. Will be served. For justice.
I am vengeance.
And you're seeing they're trying the strategy of attacking, trying to run away, attacking, trying to run away.
Epic fail. It's time to hit things. Justice.
Electrical system
That all
charge
you got?
complete.
Did you see that Supergirl attacking me from behind? She's so mean. No wonder she called Superman the B word.
I don't give up. Ever.
Pretty much out of power, out of life. No choice. Gonna have to go down. Oh no, they click me. They're so mean.
The force of my will.
So if you're wondering what happens when you get clicked, it makes it a bit slower for you to come back into the game. Is he trying to run away? Oh, waited too late. At some point, what would happen is that there are some people who, as soon as they would reach, they would lose 20% of their health. Rather than then, they would try to run away. They would figure that they would lose in the long term. So as soon as they lost 20% of their health, they would try to run away. At some point, that was pretty much the standard. So at the time, you knew that as soon as the fight would start, if your opponent saw that you had a bit, just a little bit the edge, they would try to run away as their first opportunity. So ideally, you wanted to have either a pull move, or you wanted to have a move like super attack to be able to basically stop them from running away, like being able to swoop towards them, so that you would be able to catch up with them if they tried to run away. it's still they clicked me again. Should we go back there? I guess not. Now, right now we're way ahead. All we need to do is capture an objective and score points, and we'll get away with a big W.
It's not even fair, is it?
You will see the light.
Yeah, I'm Kryptonian. Can you tell? It's not even fair, is it?
Behave yourself.
Match over.
So because we were way ahead, all we had to do was wait at the objective and wait for one of them to come by and knock them out, or just wait and score points and run down the timer. Junior says we might see Venom in Brand New Day. I have to admit, I don't care about that. Oh, let's go to phase 4. For those who might be wondering, I should have mentioned that before, we're in front of the Superman statue in Metropolis in phase 4. So let's see. So let's go back to custom play. Let's select let's select the New 52 Batman. So we played Ace Chemicals 4v4. Let's try Arkham Asylum 4v4. Sometimes when I'm busy fighting, I don't really see the chat. So I have to admit, for Brand New Day, I don't care. I guess Endgame really was the end game for me, and even Endgame, I wasn't too crazy about Endgame. There's a lot of when I said Infinity War, I loved it under certain conditions. Like there were things that did not quite work in Infinity War, but I thought that okay, that's going to be explained in Endgame. For example, Bruce Banner remembering everything about Thanos. How does he even know that? He was the Hulk before that, and they in the Marvel universe they've established for a long time that Banner doesn't remember what the Hulk did. Like just the movie before, they had Thor Ragnarok, where Banner was the Hulk for 2 years and did not remember a single second of those 2 years. But then for Avengers Infinity War, somehow he remembers Thanos. How does he remember that? He was the Hulk. So I thought that and there's the Loki dying in a very very stupid way. We thought it would be explained in Endgame. And yeah, it was kind of sort of explained. He really dies in a stupid way. And what they did is that they brought an alternate version of Loki from another universe. So that was like, come on. So the Infinity War was a great movie until Endgame came out. And Endgame kind of ruined Infinity War for me. And after that, it was a bumpy ride, let's say. It was hard after that to be a Marvel fan. So for Venom and Brand New Day, I'm glad if it makes people excited. Sadly, I'm not one of you guys anymore. It's kind of like with Star Wars. When it comes to Star Wars, I stopped being a Star Wars fan the second Luke Skywalker turns toward the screen, takes a swallow of green milk, and then does a weird face to the screen. I was like, what the what? And that was the end for me. I remember the exact moment where I thought, okay, I'm not a Star Wars fan anymore. Already with the end of the Force Awakens, like how they basically trolled us, telling us that Luke Skywalker would be the film. And yeah, I was in the film for 3 seconds at the end and not saying a single word. Um, they might have thought they were really clever. They might have thought they were really funny, trolling the audience the way they did. I didn't find that funny. But even then, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I thought that, okay, let's see what they give us with The Last Jedi. And The Last Jedi was the final nail in the coffin. And I know some people were hoping, when they gave us The Mandalorian, people were hoping that, okay, Star Wars is back. Sadly, I was not able to enjoy The Mandalorian because at every turn, I was expecting that they would pull the rug from under our feet. And when we got the episode with Luke Skywalker at the end of season 2, again, you could have thought, okay, this is it. Star Wars is back. They brought back Luke Skywalker in a badass scene, and only to pretty much undo all that. And not even with the next season. Like 2 weeks later, the Star Wars creators were pretty much telling us how people were stupid for liking Luke Skywalker. Oh, Uncle is asking, will next star be the next bounty? We don't know. Dark Joker says, well, got to see you all guys on the Halloween event. For Halloween, just a reminder, this Friday for Live at 5, put on your best Halloween costume. It could be a vampire, it could be a mummy, it could be a zombie, it could be something else completely different, and maybe you could surprise us. But Live at 5 will be Halloween themed. Junior says Marvel needs a change. I hear you. I do like Spider-Man movies, but I'm biased. And for Star Wars, Mandalorian is all I like from the new. And even then, the third season wasn't very good, let's say.
Lobotomy lab control node enabled. Central guard post node enabled.
Vengeance is
Boiler
mine!
room control node enabled.
Enough.
You think you can escape? How cute.
Are we done here?
Pardon my
rough for ya?
fists!
There's no escape for you.
The night is mine.
Let's we took down Nightwing. Oh, maybe Wonder Woman too. Oh yeah.
In the name of peace.
Whoops! Your face got in the way of my fist!
Poison ivy release enabled.
Oh, will someone get a release?
The scarecrow release enabled.
Should I go capture the... let's go try to get the release. Let's be sneaky. Oh, too late, too late.
How'd you like this?
Let's see if I can surprise her. Oh yeah. Don't do that very often, but I guess for once it worked.
This one's a job for Supergirl!
Call yourself a
Look,
threat.
more prey.
Epic fail.
She destroyed my drone. She's so mean.
You think you'd learn?
Oh, I guess the plants are not on our side. That's a close match, closer than I expected.
Yeah, I'm Kryptonian. Can you tell?
That's it?
Did you see that? Nightwing attacked me from behind. I didn't raise you like that, Dick.
It's time to hit things.
Robin can be so disappointing sometimes. It's hard being a father these days.
The Joker release.
Try
enabled.
harder.
Mr. Freeze release enabled.
For justice.
You're mine.
Try detective work.
Nice outfit. Did your mommy make it for you?
Yeah, I'm Kryptonian. Can you tell?
I am
God,
the Batman.
grant me strength.
Oh. Well, at least I didn't get a long timer. Gotta be grateful for
That's
that.
it?
Shape up or ship out. Oh,
That all you
I
got?
bite.
I guess that was the coup de grace. So let's get out of here. Oh, I guess we can have a 5 versus 5 next. But for Marvel, sadly, the issues run really deep. They would have to make some changes, not just at Marvel, but at Disney as well. They would have to really dig deep and get rid of the quote unquote rot at Disney. And I believe the rot is so deep that and also it's deep within the company, but it's also at the top. So it comes from the decision makers. Oh, come on. I need a boo boo. Let's go for 5 versus 5, not 4 versus 4. A 5 versus 5 is where is it? A 5 versus 5 will be the moon. So let's go for 5v5, and I might be on the wrong phase. Oh yeah. I'm not sure why they keep on changing us phases like that. Like if you're in phase 4, why not put us back in phase 4? Doesn't matter. But yeah, for Disney, for Marvel, the rot goes so deep within Marvel, but also within Disney. The same for Star Wars that they would have. I don't think they can. I don't think they can salvage anything from that. They would have to replace pretty much everyone at Marvel, everyone at Lucasfilm, everyone at Disney. It's not gonna happen. And we've been seeing Bob Iger pretty much promising us changes for like forever. Like, oh, we got the message now. We're going to change, or we're going to get the message now. We're going to get away from what doesn't work, and they don't. And whenever they tell us that they got the message, somehow they show us that they don't. They'll use some, let's say, a not very good excuse to explain why they're failing. And if you cannot admit why you're truly failing, how can you even fix it? So Scroll says he didn't get in. Is sad. So we have 5 versus 5. Yeah, we're trying for that. Junior says also Universal owns many characters. Universal owns the distribution rights for the Hulk, Namor, and I forget what else. Silver Surfer maybe. Which might explain why they went with the female Silver Surfer. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they would have gone with the female Silver Surfer anyway. But that's besides the point. I was under the impression though that the old Universal thingy was settled, but maybe not. But if you've been wondering why we haven't had a Hulk movie in ages, and why they're having the Hulk in other movies, that is why. Basically, in order to be able to make a Hulk movie for a long time, they would have had to use Universal as the distributor, and basically they would have had to share the money with Universal. And Disney sadly are not do not share. So there was no way that Disney were going to share one penny with Universal. Right now we're going for the Moon 5 versus 5. So if you guys are wondering, that's what it is. So there was no way that Marvel were going to share a single penny with Universal. So instead, what they did is that they had the Hulk in the Avengers movies. Then they had the Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. Then they had the Hulk or Red Hulk into Captain America: Brave New World, because they don't want to share whatever money they make with Universal. With Sony, they have no choice. Basically, Sony pretty much owns the Spider-Man character. Short of a small miracle, Sony will own Spider-Man pretty much forever. Although they did make a boo-boo with the merchandising. Basically, the Sony gave away the merchandising rights to Marvel. I think in exchange for Daredevil at the time and probably something else, like an extension for the Daredevil license, which they did nothing with. Like they lost the Spider-Man merchandising by itself sells more than all the Marvel merchandising put together. And not just by a little bit. Like it's if you take all the Marvel merchandising, X-Men, Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, everything, put it together, the Spider-Man merchandising sells like 10 times as much as that by itself. And somehow Sony gave that back to Marvel in exchange for an extension for the Daredevil rights. And they ended up not even doing anything with it. That is the worst part. And their argument was that there's nothing we can do. It's impossible to do anything with Daredevil. And then afterwards we had the Netflix Daredevil, which pretty much showed that they whoever was in charge at the time, they didn't know what they were doing. And we saw that also with the X-Men. We saw that also with the it was a bit sad. Oh, I did a boo boo. I confused I confused Sony with Fox. My bad. I forgot why they gave back the rights, the merchandising for Spider-Man to. Not sure why I thought it was Daredevil, because I just realized Daredevil is Fox. But anyways, Sony used to have the merchandising right for Spider-Man, which they gave away to Marvel, which was a bad idea. Onko, I just wanted to combine all the Super comics. Well, they're going to do that. They just announced Avengers X-Men. So we could see with already with Doomsday, with Avengers Doomsday, we could tell that Disney and Marvel are getting a bit desperate. And so here they were very quick. Even before we saw one frame of Doomsday, already they're announcing Avengers X-Men to try to build some hype. But again, which X-Men? Is it going to be some new X-Men that we never saw before? Is it going to be the X-Men with Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, Famke Janssen? Or is it going to be the X-Men with James McAvoy? Or is it going to be some entirely new X-Men? I guess we'll never know. Junior says Daredevil, Hulk, Punisher are already announced for a brand new day. So did they get it back? Did they get it back? Well, they got the rights back quite some time ago. Basically, they bought for Daredevil for Daredevil. Fox lost the right a long time ago. They didn't know what to do with the license. And then as soon as the license reverted back to Marvel, Marvel made the Daredevil, the Netflix Daredevil, which pretty much made Fox looks like incompetent. For the Punisher, yeah, we've heard that for some time. There's also supposedly a Punisher movie that will be straight for Disney Plus that they're talking about. But we don't know what's going on that front. For the Hulk, yeah, that was announced also some time ago. Junior says they already announced them in the video. They showed their names in the back of a chair for Doomsday. Yeah, but they from what I understand, like in the case of, let's say, X-Men, yes, we will see the X-Men, the Fox X-Men. And sometimes it seems we'll see the old Fox X-Men. Sometimes we will see the younger Fox X-Men. And sometimes, and at some point also, we're talking about basically creating a new versions of the X-Men. At some point, there were rumors that they were planning to make Professor X and Magneto Black, and trying to play it like the Malcolm X. They were trying to play it like Magneto would be Malcolm X, and I forget who Xavier was supposed to be. But is that gonna happen? We don't know. Are we going to run anything today? Well, we're trying to run a PvP, which sadly isn't working very well. Oh, there we are. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. I can't believe I blanked out on that name. So apparently they're trying to go back basically to the 60s, and so Magneto would represent Malcolm X, Professor X would represent Martin Luther King, and at some point we're talking that's the angle that we're trying to take with the X-Men for a bit. Are they gonna do it? We don't know. Bernac, you don't have to join. All you have to do is curve for the same mission we're curving. The matchmaking is making the teams.
Match commencing.
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Don't put your trust in luck, friend.
Beware my power.
Pardon my fist.
You're my new scratching post.
There's
No
a storm
fear.
coming, brother.
10 seconds. So for the X-Men, sadly, it's not very clear what they're going to do with the license. Are they going to restart it with new actors? Are they going to try to keep the older actors? And again, which older actor will they keep?
Time to bust some heads.
Will they keep Patrick Stewart as the Professor X? Will they keep James McAvoy?
You're going down in one punch.
We don't know.
Out of my way!
It's not even fair, is it? It's time to hit
All
me.
will be well.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
There is always hope.
Whoops! Your face got in the way of my fist.
Stop your crying!
This ought to shut you up.
Epic fail.
I'm
This
smarter
one's a
than
job
you look,
for
and what?
Supergirl.
On your feet, poser!
Shape up or ship out. For the glory of Gaia!
Time to bust some heads!
Onko says, man, those guys are honor, people are good.
Going down.
I would say they probably, they're very experienced PvP players.
Match
So yeah.
over.
So here's the scoreboard for those who like that kind of stuff. So you can see we didn't defeat a lot of players. A lot of that came to capturing the objectives. Oh, I guess we can leave. So for the X-Men right now, there's really no information about what they're going to do. And I don't expect we'll get any information, any real information before Avengers Doomsday, but I could be wrong.
Run, run.
Let's go back to phase 4. Come on, evil menu. So let's go to Arkham Asylum 5 versus 5. Onko says, Multiverse, don't you think they should give an update to Weapon Mastery? There's a lot of things that should be updated. Sadly, there's only so much they can do at a time. So, would it be, could they update Weapon Mastery? I suppose they could. Will they do it? We don't know. Although Weapon Mastery has been pretty much Precision has been pretty much the meta for some time. And in roundabout ways, I guess Weapon Mastery as well. But people use only a few of the Weapon Masteries. Basically, they'll use those that can... they'll use the one from Brawling, from Dual Wield, and maybe one more that I forget. Where they can pretty much use the Weapon Mastery combo very quick. So... should they really work on Weapon Mastery when there's only a couple of 2 or 3 Weapon Masteries that people are truly using it? We don't know. And yeah, Junior is a good point. Like right now, for a while, they've been trying to get people to they've been trying to give a boost to might, DPS through the artifacts, because for quite a while the meta was precision. And I guess they don't make money from precision. If they can get people to purchase artifacts to get the current meta, they probably make more money that way. So sadly, we've been seeing that for some time. The devs usually will focus on something if they can make money out of it. So if they find a way to monetize Weapon Mastery somehow, they'll probably work on that. If not, they'll leave it as it is. But again, it's a tricky thing because people will gravitate towards the 2-3 Weapon Mastery combos that do the most damage, and they'll pretty much ignore everything else. So is it really worth it to try to revamp Weapon Mastery for that? I don't know. I kind of miss the time where Weapon Mastery was first introduced, and when you would do your Weapon Mastery combo, your next power would cost less power to use. That was a fun bit. What would be a cool idea for a precision artifact? Good question. I guess I could see artifact weapons. Like technically, we had some artifact weapons in Wonderverse, I think, but they were just weapons that were called artifacts somehow. And I guess you could get an elite version of those. It's been a while, so I might be misremembering. But what if we could actually get actual weapons that would be actual artifacts that you would rank up to rank 200, and that would give you certain benefits. So you could get for dual wield, you could get the official Batman Batarang artifact maybe, or try to find some other weapons that could work. Hawkman has a whole bunch of artifacts that could be used as weapons, I guess, or weapons that could be used as artifacts. Oh, we have Azin's wife here. So I guess that could be one way for weapons to kind of give a boost to be specific about precision. Although I guess might players could probably still use those weapons. Scroll says Venomous Dispenser. Junior sounds like a great idea. Like, what if we could get a weapon that would be that we would upgrade as an artifact, but then that would mean would we have to keep upgrading the weapon past 200? Like when we get a new DLC, would the weapon be less powerful than the weapon from the new DLC? I would have to give it some thoughts. So for those who maybe just joined us or wondering, we're queuing for Arkham Asylum 5 versus 5. We have a cool canal here. So there's been artifacts like basically they could give us artifacts like weapon artifacts. They could even give us like rings as artifacts. Like imagine if we had a Green Lantern ring artifact, like the Sinestro. Let's go to it. Like what if they actually gave us a Sinestro ring as an artifact, as opposed to like as an artifact that we could use as a ring, as opposed to just making it an artifact. Like if they've been trying to get people to spend more money on artifacts, what if we could get artifact rings, like a Sinestro artifact rings, a Green Lantern artifact rings, a pretty much all the Lantern artifacts, the Lantern rings as artifacts. Oh, the chat jumped on me a bit. So our friend Unko is suggesting some artifacts. But at the end of the day, the devs are the one who pretty much make those decisions. And I forget who's the devs who's actually working on the artifacts. His name escapes me right now, but basically there's one dev who's specifically working on the artifacts, and he's pretty much the one I would assume who makes those decisions. Like at some point, people were, let's say, complaining that he was making artifacts about battle troll, healer troll, battle troll, battle healer, battle tank, and at the end of the day, he said that he was the one making those decisions, and he was going to give us battle stuff. The argument also at the time was, I remember at the time I mentioned that to Meps, I think, on the forums. I said something along the lines that there's enough people who try to play as battle healer. Like it's when we got the Clarion. I said I don't know if we need an artifact to encourage people to play as a battle healer, because there's already enough healers who try to play as a battle healer and who do a terrible job of healing the group. But then that was Meps's point. Like there's a lot of people who wanted to play as a battle healer, so let's give them artifacts. And I could see the point. Like if there's a lot of people who want to play in a certain style, and yeah, maybe they should cater to those people at least a little bit, and that's why they've been catering a lot to battle healer, battle trolls, battle tank, because a lot of people want to play as battle healer. A lot of people don't just want to be a healer, and it's something that's been we've had that issue for a long time. Way back when, some of you guys may remember, we used to have this game called Dungeons and Dragons, or Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. It's only called D&D and or D&D 5th edition, I think, is the latest edition. And already way back when, nobody wanted to play the healer of the group. And sadly, there's always someone who had to sacrifice themselves to be the healer of the group. And then they would create a cleric character, and their main function would be to keep the group alive. And pretty much since the end of the beginning of time, nobody likes to be the healer of the group. With D&D 3rd edition, they tried to remedy that by basically giving a huge boost to healers. You could customize your healer quite a lot. You could have a healer that would also work as a tank. You could have a healer that would be a rogue if you wanted to. If you gave him, depending on the skill points you would give him, and the gear you would give him, you could have a healer that acted like a rogue if you wanted to. So you could literally customize with the various cleric domains. You could literally customize your healer to be more than just a healer. But that made the healers very, very powerful. And again, yeah, some people would play the healer, but they wouldn't really play a healer. They would play a rogue who sometimes would heal, or they would play a tank who sometimes would heal. So that didn't really solve the issue. Junior says, sadly, when you only heal, you miss so many feats. Yeah, but it's more than that. In any games, nobody likes to be in the healer. Like once in a while, you'll find like a unicorn who not only doesn't mind being the healer, who actually enjoys being the healer, but it's a rare thing. As a rule of thumb, nobody wants to be the healer. Which is why a lot of people, when they play a healer, they actually play a battle troll, or they play a healer as if they were playing a DPS character. Onko says they should make a troll artifact that's similar to Page of Destiny Revivify, but instead of elf, it would be your power. I forget what the Page of Destiny does.
Look out! Get away.
So for those wondering, we're queuing for Arkham Asylum 5v5. Although we've been here, yeah, I should have known. We've crossed the 1 hour mark. Usually people will stick around for about an hour. They'll play a bit, and then I can already see the curve go down on my analytics. So yeah, so people will stick around for about an hour, and we cross that point. Let's see if we can try. Let's go also for Temple of Isis. So we'll queue for both Temple of Isis 4v4 or Arkham Asylum 5v5, and we'll see which one pops first. Onko says they're still going to make a video on how to get the crafting base mods feat. Um, for that, I would need I would need to be able to craft a mod, and I don't think I have what I need for that. I'll have to look into that. I'll put it in my to-do list, but the thing is, in order to be able to craft the mods, you need specific components, and I'm not sure I have all of what I would need in order to be able to do that. David Sharp, from what my sister says, Fighting Fantasy 14, lots of people love playing healer, and then the devs gutted the class and spread out healing to the other classes. I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 a lot. I played it for about a month, hated that. But I could see if the devs decided to do that. I'm not sure if that means a lot of people were playing it. Like, if a lot of people were playing healers, they probably would have left it alone. The fact that they spread the healing class, the healing around to other classes, suggests to me that maybe there was not enough healers going around. Like, I'm sure it's nice if your sister and her friends, maybe they enjoyed playing as healers, but maybe no one else did. As a rule of thumb, usually when devs do something, uh, usually when something is working, the devs keeps on doing it, and when something isn't working, they try to change it. So if they did try to change their healing and spread it to other classes, my guess would be that they probably didn't have enough healer classes to go around. Also, I forget, like, can you have a group in Final Fantasy 14 where you don't have a healer? Or do you need a healer in every group? Like, way back when in DCUO Online, when you would make a group, let's say you would make a group for a 4-player mission, you needed one healer, one tank, one controller, and one DPS. You had no choice. And sadly, there was a shortage. There was way too many people playing DPSs, not enough people playing controller. So, if you were playing a controller, you were getting into missions pretty much instantly. If you were playing as a DPS, it would take forever for you to get into a mission, which created a problem. At the time, what people would do is that they would queue for a mission as a DPS, but they would pretend to also be a controller, so that they would get into the mission. And then you would end up in the mission with no controller because the DPS, the controller wasn't really a controller, he was a DPS. They changed that at some point so that everyone could fill the group. The group could be filled with 4 DPSs. But it took a while for them to get around to doing that. Junior says for other roles like DPS tank troll, I'd rather they raise the cap limit and just add extra skills to artifacts. It gets too expensive starting a new artifact. Uncle said I played Final Fantasy 14 but got confused on how to play it and got lost. I like how simple DCUO is, lol. Well, I didn't care so much about it. Wasn't so much confusing as I hated the way the game worked. I guess yeah, it was a bit too convoluted for no good reason. But we see that in a lot of games. I don't know why when it comes to MMO, sometimes the devs feel like they have to make everything convoluted. Maybe that's how it was in MMOs way back when, and somehow the devs think they have to keep on doing things that way. But that's always a bit puzzling to me. Although DCO does make also some of those sins, like when you look at all the currencies we have in DCO right now, like there's so many different currencies, and there should be no need for that many currencies. Like, we have the replay badges, we have a whole bunch of the data chips, the Mogo Acorn, Marks of Valor. So there's a laundry list of currencies for different events, for different occasions, for different... I understand that they're doing that so that each event will have their own currency so that people play those events. Like if all we had was marks of valor, or I actually if all we had was source marks, then people would just farm and farm for source marks. And when we get a new DLC, a new event, they probably wouldn't play the event. They would just use source marks to purchase everything. But I remember a time where we had a lot more current, like each DLCs had their own currency. Luckily at the time they decided to simplify that a lot. Onko says, which they updated the fighting animation for certain abilities in DCUO. Some of them feels like a copy-paste ability animation. I don't know who does the animation for DCUO, or like I remember when we got the Batman ally. Holy crap! Did I think the animation for that ally was not good? I tried to mention that. I tried to ask them, come on guys, you have to fix that. Didn't happen. So I don't know who does the animation. I don't know if there's maybe they don't even have anyone who does the animation. Maybe they're just reusing animation that was made by the devs way back when they first made the game. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have any new devs who actually make animation. Could be that the new devs only reuse older animation. So I don't know how it's like with the base the layers. We know that Ocean was the one making the layers, but since she's been gone. The layers have not been they haven't been creating as many layers. So for the animation, I don't even know if do they have someone who actually makes new animation, or do they just reuse what's already in the game? L says, do you know Sephiroth? No idea who that is. Uncle says, isn't that a chip from survival mode? What happened to it? They scrap it. Survival mode is pretty much gone. We kind of suspected a long time ago that survival mode would not be returning. In a nutshell, it requires a lot more work than they're willing to spend. You may have noticed for the past year with all of the events that have been giving us, usually it's events they can create using reused assets. Like for Batman Day, they did not have to come up with new missions. All they had to do was give us access to some of the previous missions we already had. And sadly for survival mode, let's go to the options. There we go. So sadly for survival mode, we've known for some time that it was probably requiring more work than the devs were willing to put into it. And sadly, it's become pretty clear at this point that it's not going to come back. The same for Save the Universe. Come to think of it. David Sharp, was Instant Stone the last new layer created? Absolutely. Basically, it was created by Ocean before she left Daybreak. She wasn't quite done. She was like 80% done when she left. So they were able to get someone to finish the remaining 20% and release it. But if you guys recall, when we did get the Sunstone lair, there was a lot of issues early on. Seeing how people are starting to start playing with their emotes.
Run for your lives!
I guess it's a good sign to tell us that I think we're done for today. Uncle says, how much would I have to pay you? for you to help them write the script for each DLCs, and they would have to pay me $1 million. Well, ideally, probably, yeah, I don't know, $1,000 a week. But I would understand that I'm not Stephen King. So if they offer me $500 a week, I would probably consider it. But that'll never happen. They have their own creative staff. They have their own writers that they've been using. From what I understand, it's when Kendrick Key came over. Kendrick Key has been a producer for about almost 2 years now, I think. When Kendrick came over to Daybreak, it's obvious that his game plan was to bring his Star Trek Online team with him to Daybreak, and that's exactly what they ended up doing. So Kendrick Key came to Daybreak. 3 4 months later, they laid off. They let go all the devs that were not. They let go almost all the devs that were still there from the older team, and then they brought in a lot of the devs from Star Trek Online. So they were able to pretty much replace most of the DCUO devs by Star Trek Online devs, and that we've been seeing the result for about a year and a half now. So they have their writing team. They're pretty much using the writing team, or it would seem they're pretty much using the writing team they had on Star Trek Online. So I strongly doubt they would want someone like me. Like technically, they already had someone like me on the Creator League, and they did not really seem very interested to use me all that much. So I strongly doubt they would use me for the stories, for the script, for the DLCs. But you never know. If you keep on wishing very hard, maybe someday that'll happen. Captain Valor, I wish we could customize sidekicks. I remember years ago they wanted to add that. That's something they could make some cash off of. Oh yeah, we've been asking for that for pretty much since they added the sidekicks to the game. We've been asking for that. We were told that they had some plans to be able to allow some sort of something for the sidekick, but we never knew what those plans were, and it never happened in the end. The closest we had is that at some point they did give us, I think it was a metal bat sidekick, and that's all we had.
Get away!
And the other one also they gave us. Oh, I could have sworn I had it here. Oh, I'm so sad now.
Whoa!
Do I have it here? Or is it my?
Got to stop
Oh,
them!
there it is.
Run!
So we had that. They did give us the automated sidekick, which is not really a sidekick. It's something we can use as a pet. So sadly, there's a bit of brand confusion sometimes. Whereas they did give us a sidekick or a new sidekick. That's not really a sidekick. So the only real sidekick I can think of is there's some sort of bat we got at some point. But that was the extent of it. And it's easy to understand why also they're not giving us much with the sidekicks, because as a rule of thumb, pretty much everyone uses the backup or the henchman. So I remember the last time I was using the sidekick, some people were making fun of me because at that time nobody was using the sidekick. I was pretty much the last of the weekend was using the sidekick, and no one else was using it. Onko says, "Do you think the devs actually know about the comics?" They seems to know about the comics very superficially. They seems to know about certain comics that maybe they've read once they got the job, but nah, they don't seem to know all that much about the comics per se. Oh, Junior says, "Have a great night. Have a great night, Junior." Uncle says, "I've been wishing that too, Captain." And Onko again, and you know they would make some good cash too because let's be honest, stylizing is a huge part of this game. Buff them up and make it so we can customize them. The problem is that if you can use one sidekick that has a few abilities, or if you can use three backups that will attack, and also in some cases have certain abilities, the math is easy enough to do. And even worse with the new zombie henchmen, you have like five of them. So unless they really revamp the whole thing, and unless they really give quite a boost to the sidekick, yeah, I don't foresee people using the sidekick as opposed to the henchman. Captain Valor, also remember when they promised customizable UI right before SOE became Daybreak, like you could rearrange stuff in the UI. Yeah, they were not able to pull it off. I remember we had seen an example of the new UI way back when, but somehow it never happened. As you mentioned, it was before SOE became Daybreak, and that whatever plans they had before SOE was sold went out the windows. As soon as SOE was sold, those plans were gone. It's a bit strange. I see people don't seem to remember or to know that way back when Daybreak did not exist. The Dimensional Ink did not exist. I saw again yesterday or the day before someone was talking about how Daybreak developed DCUO or Dimensional Inc. developed DCUO, and I understand the confusion because if you go to the wiki page, that's what it says. The Wikipedia page says that Dimensional Inc. are the ones who developed DCUO, which makes no sense. It did not even exist way back when. So, for those who maybe do not know or don't remember, way back when, DC Universe Online was basically a Sony game. It was part of Sony Online Entertainment, and even then, also the Sony Online Entertainment was mostly managing the US version of DCO. In Europe, there was another company. I completely forget the name of the company, but there was another company that was managing DCO in Europe, and Sony Online Entertainment was managing DCO in North America. But then eventually, Sony decided to get rid of Sony Online Entertainment, so they sold it, and then and then we got Daybreak Studios. And then at some point, Daybreak Studios reorganized the studio, and that is when we got Dimensional Inc. Basically, we got Dimensional Inc. that takes care of DCO. There's I don't know, someone else who takes care of EverQuest. I forget the name. There's someone else who takes care of whatever other games they have. So historically, Sony has pretty much been an umbrella company. Sony is pretty much made up of a whole bunch of different companies. We had Sony Online Entertainment, who would take care of the gaming, but we had Sony. I think it was just Sony Entertainment, who would take care of the movies. We had another department of Sony who would take care of the electronics, probably Sony Electronics, that was called. So they even though it was all Sony, it was multiple companies within Sony, if it makes sense. So yes, there was a lot of a lot of promises made way back when we still had Sony Online Entertainment. Also at the time, some of you guys may remember we had SOE Live, where they would go to, I forget where they were going to, Atlantic City or Texas or Las Vegas, I forget. They used to have an event called SOE Live way back when, where they would go and where the fans could go, and basically the fans would be able to meet the devs and talk about the game, and they would have various panels about the game. That is where I discovered Trixlight. I'll always remember Trixlight with his big microphone interviewing the devs. Ah, the sweet memories. And also at SOE Live, that was the last time where they announced some legend character. They had announced the Grodd legend character that was coming to the game, which never happened. Onko says, didn't the devs say they wanted to start streaming on Twitch every Friday or something? Not every Friday. I think it'll be like once a month. So we saw that they did stream when we had the new DLC. I'm guessing they'll probably stream in 1 month, maybe for the Wonder Woman Day event, maybe. And then afterwards, they'll probably stream the month after that for the Christmas seasonal. So they've been talking about streaming once a month, if I recall correctly. Scroll says the Saudis bought EA for 55 billion. Yeah, 55, 56. That's the number I've been hearing. That's going to be a game changer. But probably not short term. Short term things will probably not change all that much. But slowly but surely, the EA will become something else. Now they might also decide to sell bits and pieces of it. Maybe they'll decide because the Saudis bought EA, but it could be they bought EA for specific reasons. And there could be some entities within EA that they don't want. Like they could decide maybe to get rid of BioWare, which has the Dragon Age license and the Mass Effect license. Or they could decide to simply keep all of that and but change the license to what they want to make. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Eden Sun Village, does Sony own everything Spider-Man related? No, all they own is the movie rights. They used to own the merchandising rights, but they gave that away. I forget why they gave it. They gave away the merchandising rights for some reason, and it completely blew up in their face. The merchandising right was a huge piece of the pie. But somehow they traded it away. Not, I don't know if it's because they did not realize how profitable it was. Like they should have known. They were seeing that they should have been able to see the numbers. But somehow they decided to give the merchandising rights back to Marvel somehow. So Sony owns the movie rights, and it's a bit more complicated than that. They have a say pretty much in the Spider-Man character itself. Captain Valor, Jens Anderson, Friday Night Legends. Yeah, way back when there used to be Friday Night Legends with Jens Anderson and Meps Meps, also known as Ted Stone. So Jens Anderson was Spittle, Meps was Ted Stone was Meps, and we had Spittle and Meps every Friday for Friday Night Legends. Sadly, at some point, they decided not to do those anymore. Basically, there was, let's say, some drama that happened the last few times they had Friday Night Legends, and the last time they streamed, they said, okay, we're not doing that anymore. We still would get streams for when we would get a new DLC or to give us some news about the game, but for Friday Night Legends, sadly that became a thing of the past. Captain Valor, those PvP streams DCUO would do, or are you saying should do? They're not going to do that. Already you can tell when they're making a stream that they kind of struggle with the game a little bit. Like you have to remember that the devs have been hired to create the game. They haven't been hired to play the game. And sadly, even with the older devs, we've known that for quite some times. The devs are not the best at playing the game. Sadly, the best, the devs are no match for the best players in the game, if it makes any sense. The best players of the game are much better than any of the devs. I would say even worse now that we have new devs that barely know how to play the game. So I wouldn't expect any PvP streams from the devs anytime soon, or even any PvE stream. You have noticed that in the few streams they did not play the game. Sometimes they did not even show. They did not even fly around to show the environment or the maps or stuff like that. They just stick to showing us a few styles, and that's pretty much the extent of it. Those streams they used to do, I mean, yeah, they used to make PvP streams. Sadly, those are gone. Uncle, who do you think will be the next bounty? It might be Red Lantern related. Seeing how the next, it would looks like the next DLC might have to do with the Red Lanterns. So I wonder if we're going to get a a little extra stories like we had with the previous DLCs that will sort of tease the next DLC, and then we could get a bounty like a Red Lantern bounty for the next DLC. I guess we'll have to wait and see. And Blast versus Brawling. Brawling sadly has the edge. The one thing, Brawling is slow, so if you're really good with blasters, you could probably win over Brawling. But yeah, Brawling, especially if Brawling uses Weapon Mastery, yeah, the Weapon Mastery for Brawling is pretty quick. Onko says I'm not good at the game, but I think I can beat them in PvP. Could be. We'll never know because that'll never happen. So I guess, guys, we're done for today. So Wednesday we'll try for Arena PvP.
Please, you've got to help.
We'll see if people show up. And for Friday, for Live at 5, put on your best Halloween costume. Whether it's a vampire, whether it's a mummy, whether it's a zombie, maybe something else. And come and join us for Live at 5. We will play, basically we'll play the newest content. And maybe some other stuff along the way. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So guys, thanks to everyone who came to play with us. Thanks to everyone who came to chat with us. And of course, thanks to all of you guys watching. You guys are awesome. Have a good rest of the weekend, guys.